I developed my virtual classroom to work for my Foundations of College math class, which is taught to seniors. I focused on Chapter 9 Vehicle Transportation for the activities in this assignment. In my virtual classroom, this is my homepage. The next important part would be the Getting Started link. Under the Getting Started link, it sets the tone for the course. There's an introductory activity where students will go to the discussion board and introduce themselves to their classmates and the instructor. And in the second folder, using course sites, sends the students on a virtual scavenger hunt to find different ways to use course sites. For example, they'll need to see what if I need help, what's expected of me, and how did I score. Each of these activities has a small assignment that will be submitted. The next link is the general information. This is where the course syllabus can be found that outlines all the activities and the expectations for the course. The instructor information page just gives a little bio about myself as well as a picture, just to kind of touch base with my students so they understand who their instructor is. For the assignments, I've broke them down into 3 different lessons. The first lesson is about new vehicles. There's an introductory paragraph in each section about the new vehicles. For example, the next one will have the used vehicles, and the final lesson talks about operating and maintaining the vehicles. For my pre-assessment activity, I did a Chapter 9 goal setting. The students will create a wiki and identify 2 goals that they wish to achieve by the end of this chapter. It could be things related to math or real-life goals, such as what tools they can use to make buying a vehicle easier. You will see in Lesson 3, they will revisit the wiki as kind of a post-assessment to see if they've reached their goals. Articles and readings can be found in the folder, and those resources are used to complete an activity, as well as a screencast about Chapter 9 Vehicle Transportation. The assignment for this lesson would be to read the articles and watch the screencast, and then they would write down the factors that they need to consider before purchasing a new vehicle. This will be submitted through the assignment link provided. Lesson 2, Used Vehicles, takes a look at a group assignment, a chat room through Course Sites Live, and a discussion board. The chat room is designed for all the students to sign in at the same time for a 30-minute period to participate in a discussion about used vehicles. The discussion board talks about, should a student purchase a new or used vehicle? I want them to take a stance and then explain their reasoning to their classmates. For the group assignment, the students will be put in groups of 3, and there are 3 tasks. The first task, they will decide on one vehicle they'd like to research. Task 2, they'll use Kelley Blue Book and Edmunds to determine the value. And task 3, there's a used vehicle blog that I've created for the course. They will create a new blog entry and report out their findings. Finally, for Lesson 3, Operating and Maintaining a Vehicle, I designed a learning module that the students will work through before completing the Chapter 9 quiz. I've set it up so that the students have to go in sequential order, so they couldn't jump straight to the assignment. There's an introduction, there's a link provided for what that car really costs to own, and then an assignment where the students will identify the 6 main factors that are used when determining how much it costs to operate and maintain a vehicle. Finally, at the end, there is an activity in this learning module where the students will revisit their goal-setting activity, and this is where they will post a comment on the wiki they created in Lesson 1 and reflect on those goals. The final activity in lesson number 3 would be to complete the Chapter 9 quiz, which is created using the testing feature of Course Sites. To the left, you can also find the discussion board area. I have a virtual classroom lifeline where students can discuss any concerns, ask questions, and help each other out. And also on the left side, you will find a library with resources for the students to help throughout the course. Well, thanks for taking a look at my virtual classroom.